These are the things that everyone else copied. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most influential gameplay mechanics.
You're going up there?
Yes. Readings at lab suggest temperature malfunction. Could affect cure viability. Need to adjust settings manually.
The mechanics we'll be looking at for today are the ones that created a genre unto themselves, or changed a playstyle forever. We're not looking at specific rules that make up a game. With this in mind, we won't be discussing save points, brand new ideas like the Nemesis system, which haven't had a chance to be adopted by other games, or the ability to control camera angles in 3D environments. We're not saying that these mechanics are good or bad, or whether we like them or not. We're simply saying that they were extremely influential on future games. With all that out of the way, let's dive into our list. Number 10, retrieving your corpse. Designing for failure can be tough. Too many checkpoints will make your adventurer feel too safe. But if the punishment for dying is too severe, frustration can set in. RPGs in the late 90s and early 2000s introduced the idea that dying isn't the end. Instead, when your hero falls in battle, their body lies in place waiting for you to return. If you make it back to your corpse unscathed, you can pick up where you left off, with all your loot in tow. For a modern example, look no farther than Dark Souls' infamous Soul system. Number 9, morality system.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
In 2015, branching narratives are a dime a dozen, but it's taken video games a long time to get there. When the original Fable debuted, it took the binary decision-making of vintage role-playing games and let your behavior in-game shape your appearance as well as the world around you.
You have 3 clear choices, Your Majesty. 1, lower the tax rate, which one could argue would help the poor and the hungry.
This established what we consider to be a morality system today, and is the foundation for games like Telltale's Walking Dead or BioWare's Mass Effect trilogy. However you know it, Karma, Paragon/Renegade, or plain old good versus evil, the morality system has influenced a lot of major franchises.
Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago, and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
Number 8, climbing. As long as games have been around, platforms have existed. Things to bounce off, spaces on which to land. But with 3D games, ground needed to be held up, and buildings needed to have walls. All these things weren't factored into gameplay until the early 2000s, when Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time debuted its wall-running mechanic. This idea of using every side of a structure truly found its footing, pun intended, with Assassin's Creed, whose parkour gameplay animated Altair using every crack, crevice, and protruding surface of the city's many, many structures.
All right, where are you?
Number 7, wait X number of hours or pay real money. Say what you will about microtransactions and aggressive mobile notifications, but there's no denying that the idea of speeding up gameplay with real money has profoundly impacted the video game industry. Games like Farmville and Simpsons Tapped Out prove that there's a demand for short-form gaming on the go. These titles have been breakout hits, proving that the controversial notion of spending your hard-earned real-world money cash for sped-up gameplay certainly isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Your lust for power is admirable, Keeper.
Number 6, Quicktime Events. Another one of gaming's feverishly debated mechanics. The first mainstream game to make use of this was technically Dragon's Lair, although most people credit Shenmue for popularizing it.
Go home!
Hey, you!
These button prompts show up when you least expect them, usually during cinematics, and ask you for quick reflexes, typically completely separating you from the basic flow of gameplay. God of War improved the mechanic by approximating Kratos' action with the highlighted button. and this paved the way for more scripted video games like Heavy Rain to use Quicktime Events as the central element of their stories. Say what you want about Quicktime Events, they're still the best way to pay your respects. Number 5. Aiming down the sights. There was a time when the only truly accurate firearm in a first-person shooter was the sniper rifle. Most popular shooters, including the likes of Half-Life, didn't expect players to zoom in before blasting off a few rounds. Now, thanks to games like Viet Cong and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, almost every modern first-person shooter has players aiming down the sights for increased accuracy.
Now aim your rifle down range. Now, shoot each target.
This dramatic shift in shooting mechanics has brought a whole new meaning to the idea of the headshot. Number 4. Cover mechanics.
Take cover!
Like aiming down the sights, cover mechanics are so prolific it's hard to imagine a new third-person action game without them. Hiding behind a wall to avoid gunfire may seem like second nature today, but it wasn't until Winback Covert Ops in 1999 that the feature first showed up in a shooter. After the breakout success of Gears of War, whose core shooting is built around hiding behind cover, the mechanic became so popular that it even showed up in series like Grand Theft Auto for the better, and Resident Evil for the not-so-better. Number 3. Z-targeting. With Ocarina of Time in 1998, Nintendo had designed the most ambitious game world to date, but they had a problem. How does the player keep what they need to see in focus? The solution was, of course, Z-targeting, a mechanic that let players zero in on one subject at a time. This lock-on maneuver was such an effective means of managing situational awareness that games from a wide variety of genres make use of it. These days, everything from RPGs like Kingdom Hearts to action games like Bayonetta have you locking on. Number 2. Regenerating health.
What was that?
Surprising.
Surprising that it worked?
Surprising that it didn't kill him.
The idea of regenerating health came into popularity along with the original Halo's regenerating shield, and it completely revamped modern shooter design. Being able to take risks without worrying about keeping your health up puts players in charge of their playstyle. Advocates of the system say that regenerating health keeps you in the moment, and it reminds you that you can die in every second, but still have a chance for a comeback. We have to say the true brilliance of regenerating health is twofold. It also impacts multiplayer design by giving revived teammates a window to bring themselves to safety. Before we name our number 1 pick, how about taking a look at some honorable mentions? Number 1. Jumping on an enemy's head. It seems so simple now. Landing on top of an enemy's head squishes them. Super Mario's world-famous technique proved that a game mechanic should always have multiple uses. If jumping from one platform to another is how you keep yourself alive, why not have it be your primary means of defense too? The iconic mechanic has been referenced in achievements, spoofed in film, and most of all, changed the way we think about gameplay forever. It is definitely an easy pick for the number 1 most influential game mechanic. What's your favorite gameplay mechanic? Did we miss one?
Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Let us know in the comments, and for more great top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I shall take your position into consideration.